Welcome everybody here to Coronavirus Getting Answers. I'm Taylor Jacobs. We got a whole lot to get to today to help you get through this pandemic. But before we get to all that, let's just catch you up to speed on what's making headlines. Starting with this, Massachusetts, we are officially into phase 3 of the reopening plan. Businesses in this phase would include things like gyms, museums, and movie theaters. More on that in a few with the doctor. And also, Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno and health officials are warning residents and businesses to remain vigilant. Don't get complacent as the state continues to see a good trend in numbers. Got to keep it that way. And while some states are moving forward with reopening phases, the number of COVID cases continues to rise nationwide, at least, as 9 states have hit new infection records over the 4th of July weekend. Yeah, many states can't say what we're able to say here. Doing well, at least as of now. Time to start getting you some answers on the coronavirus from a local expert. Dr. Erika Hamilton, a microbiologist from UMass Amherst, joins us now. Hello, Dr. Hamilton. Thank you for coming on. Hope you had a good 4th.
Thank you for having me.
We are happy to have you. So the very first question for you actually has to do, now that we are into phase 3, and movie theaters, they're now allowed to open. So for our viewers who are going to be maybe heading back there, what precautions should they take if they go to see a film?
So if you decide to go to the movies, be aware that the limit or the number of people allowed to be in the movie theater is 25. So that's not many people. Groups of families and friends will be spread out amongst the theater. You won't be able to all go in at the same time. People will have to go in at different times, find their seats that are spread out from other people, and then you can watch the movie. Whether or not food and drink will be served, I believe is up to the movie theater itself. So you may not be able to get that movie theater popcorn that a lot of people love. And make sure that you have your mask and hand sanitizer with you at all times, because you will need to wear a mask in the movie theater.
Some solid reminders right there. And yeah, concessions, that's a big way that movie theaters make money. They're already hard hit. So that would be tough if they can't serve. All right. So why are scientists having a hard time zeroing in on the virus's fatality rate? It has bounced around a bit.
This has to do with the word rate. So we know how many people are dying. We have those numbers. But what we don't know is how many people are totally infected. So anytime you're using the word rate or you're talking about percentages, you're comparing a part to a whole. And we have the part. We know how many people have died. But what we don't know is how many people total have been infected. Because remember, in a certain proportion of people, COVID-19 has such mild symptoms or no symptoms at all that they don't even realize that they are infected. And that's what the problem is, because we only know half of the ratio. We know how many people have died from it, but we're not sure about that second number, about how many people total have actually had it.
Yeah, and that's been a big concern since the start. We even just saw recently with the CDC releasing upwards of 20 more million people in the country have had COVID-19 and been none the wiser to it. All right, so the final question is, kind of encapsulates just all this talk, and it's a big one. When a vaccine is complete, how safe do you think it will be? I mean, people might be a bit hesitant to use this.
It should be, as any type of medication or a vaccine goes through these 3 phases of clinical trials. And there's 2 purposes for those clinical trials. One is to see, does the thing work? And the second one is it safe to use? So these vaccines are currently being tested, and different ones are in different phases. And by the time a vaccine or a medication gets through the 3rd phase of clinical trials, less than 10% of them make it to that point, because they're either pulled out because they didn't work, or they had some type of a harmful side effect or an unpleasant side effect. So these 3 phases or stages of clinical trials are extremely important. And one of the things they do is they weed out the things that don't work or do cause harm. So as long as these clinical trials were done correctly, and they seem to be en route to being done correctly, then the vaccine should be safe for people to have.
Very informative as usual. There's no question we can throw at you that you cannot answer. Dr. Erika Hamilton, yeah, talking there. I mean, folks, we got Moderna, we got Pfizer, Oxford overseas, all making progress when it comes to getting that vaccine. Dr. Erika Hamilton, an absolute pro. Thank you for coming on here on this Monday as we start a brand new week and enter phase 3. If you want to rewatch all of that segment, folks, you can head on over to our website. That's westernmassnews.com and get those tips on the movie theaters and more. All right, we're going to continue to have Dr. Hamilton's insight here throughout the coming days right here on ABC 40, and we'll continue to keep your answers answered here on 40. All right, up next.